Hello everyone, I hope you all are continuing to stay healthy and safe during this quarantine and that you're continuing to practice social distancing. Today I have another Mother's Day craft for you all, and it's this super cute little potted flowers thing that says 5 reasons why I love my mom. Now you can customize this any way that you want, but I'm going to teach you how I made this. All right, what you're going to need 2 sheets of paper. You're gonna need scissors and you're gonna need crayons or something to color with. All right, so what I did first is I took my first sheet of paper, and then I took my pencil and I just traced out my hand. You can do whichever hand you want. I'm doing my right hand because I am left-handed. Oh yeah, and you will also need a pencil, that way you can, draw yours out. All right, so I've drawn out my hand, and now I'm gonna cut it out. To the best that I can. And remember, when we're cutting very close to the line. We want clean cutting, because these are for our mom, so we want these to look good. And I apologize if there are long pauses in this video, because there's going to be a lot of cutting, a lot of coloring, and this is not an easy, this is not going to take you 5 minutes like that other one that I posted yesterday. All right, got my 2 fingers cut out. We got just 1 more finger to do, and then we will be on to the next step. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna put that scrap piece of paper aside. And now we've got our hand. This is the one we're gonna work with first. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my Sharpie. You can use a black marker or a black crayon, anything that you want. I'm just gonna use a Sharpie today. And right in the middle of my hand, I'm gonna flip it over to where the outside, the part that's gonna be seen, is gonna be the part without all those pencil marks. We want our hands in our crafts to look as best as possible. So I'm gonna write, like on the palm of the hand right here, it's gonna say 5 reasons why I love my mom. All right, just like this, okay? I know it's backward and I'm sorry. If you need help trying to spell something, you can always talk to an adult in your household. All right, so now what you're gonna do is on each of these fingers, you're gonna write 1 reason why you love your mom, right? Or just someone who's a motherly figure in your family, just someone like that. All right, so 5 reasons why I love my mom. She gives the best hugs. All right. I also know that she makes my favorite foods. She also makes me laugh. Let's see what else. What did I use on? On this one, I also said, she's always there for me. And she takes care of me. All right. So now we've got our hand with all of our reasons on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a green crayon. Sorry, my jar with all my crayons is what I'm using for a phone tripod so I can hold you up. All right, and I'm just going to color it green to represent the plant part of our flowers, or the stems and the roots and stuff. And I'm avoiding the middle part where it says 5 reasons why I love my mom. That way that part really just stands out. But you don't have to do that, of course. You can just color the entire thing green, or you can color it anything that you want. Just for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm coloring mine green. I also recommend for this using a Sharpie for the writing, or just some sort of really dark marker, because when you color it with that green crayon, it might cover it up. So you want something that's going to be pretty dark, that's going to be able to be seen. All right, so mine's finally fully green, so we're going to put that aside for just a second. And now what we're going to do, we are going to take, to find a place for this, our second piece of paper, like this. And then what we're gonna do is that we are gonna draw our pot. So how do we draw a pot? We're gonna kind of draw an upside down trapezoid. So I'm gonna do the bottom line first, like this. It's gonna be fairly big. You want it to be able to cover the wrist of your hand. So you want it to be fairly big to start with. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of create a curved rectangle. Kind of like that. And instead of going up, we're going down. So you're gonna create like a curved, but it doesn't have to be curved. It's just most pots are curved because they're supposed to be a circle. But you're just gonna create a little rectangle, and then you're gonna go and create a little square at the bottom and curve the bottom of that. Oh, I made mine a little uneven. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, like this. But you want it to go slightly more in. You don't want it to be directly aligned. You want it to go slightly more in as you're creating this, because most pots have like that little edge bit. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this out, because this is gonna be the bottom of this is gonna be our pot. And this isn't gonna take as long as the hand did, because a lot of these are straight edges, so this shouldn't take that long. And if you need help cutting something out, let a parent know, or somebody in your household who's an adult, because they are more than willing to help you. All right, so now we've got our pot. So now what I'm gonna do, sorry y'all, I have to move you again so I can find my crayon. All right, we got it. I'm gonna color my pot brown. You can color your pot anything that you want. You could put any design on it that you want, but for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna color mine brown. And what in particular I'm doing is at wherever I color like the edges where those pencil marks are, I'm coloring a little bit darker than the rest of it. So I want those edges to really stand out. So I'm using about a normal pressure when I'm coloring the edges where those pencil lines are. So like where the top is and the bottom. And I'll show you what this looks like in just a second once I get done. Like this, all right? You see how I colored just the lines? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use less pressure, it means how hard I'm pressing it on down on the crayon for the rest of it. And I'm just gonna color it very lightly. That way those lines still are able to stand out without being covered up. Awesome. All right, so it's gonna look like this. You can put any design you want on it. You can put some flowers or some butterflies or anything like that. Keep in mind that this is for Mother's Day and it's very springy and fun. So I wouldn't suggest putting something like a monster truck on it, but if your mom is into monster trucks or Marvel superheroes, you go right ahead. You put that on there. But let's just think about what your moms would like, because this is for your moms and we want her to love it. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my glue stick. If you don't have a glue stick at home, you can use something like tape or a hot glue gun if you happen to have one of those, but I definitely suggest getting a parent's help with using a hot glue gun if you're gonna go that route. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, since we want this part to show, I'm actually gonna glue this front part because that's what's gonna go together, because it's gonna wanna look like this. All right. And also, when I didn't color the part where it says reasons why I love my mom, it gave me kind of like a guideline of where I should put the glue. That way I don't cover up those words by accident. All right, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna peel back any areas that don't feel very secure, and I'm just gonna press those down. So like, maybe like right here, it's just not feeling very secure, so I'm just gonna go in and glue that together. All right, so now you've got something that looks like this. Now here's where the fun part happens. We're gonna make little flowers to go right on top of our fingers. So now what we're gonna do, you can draw these flowers, you can print them out if you happen to have a printer at home, but for right now, I'm just gonna draw them. Now I'm only gonna draw one because this will take forever if I happen to do all 5 like we did this one, but it will end up looking like this once you have all of your flowers. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I just made one of them, because we will be here for a very long time if I taught you how to do all 5, because they're all the same anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a fairly small circle, about the size of a fingertip, kind of like this, all right? And that's gonna be the center of our flower. And now what I'm doing, I'm kind of creating little like bubbles or petals around the outside. So here's the middle and here's the outside. And as I'm doing it, I go from like right here and I curve outward and then I connect toward the middle. So I'm gonna create about 5 of these around the same size, kind of like this. And as we go around, you want each of the petals to connect, all right? So now what I'm gonna do, once again, I gotta move you, I'm sorry, is if I can get a hold of these crayons, I'm gonna get 2 colors of crayon. I'm gonna use, we'll do pink and yellow. Those are very springy and mom-like. All right, I got my 2 crayons, and what I'm gonna do is with the yellow crayon, I'm gonna color the middle of that with yellow. And then I'm gonna color the rest of it with this pink color. Ooh, this is a really pretty pink, y'all. All right, so now our flower's done. So now what we gotta do is we gotta cut it out. So what I like to do first, since it's kind of hard to get really in there, since all the little air curves and stuff make sure we don't have a lot of room, I would definitely suggest, if you can, get a parent's help with this one. But if you don't want to cut it and like perfectly, you can just do something like this and glue it on. But I'm just gonna cut mine as good as I can because we want this to look good for our moms, the best that we can. But if it doesn't look super perfect, it is not the end of the world. We move on, and so does the world. All right. Now if I could get, like I said, if I was doing these with 5 flowers, this would take forever. Like it did with the one I just made earlier. All right, so now I've got my flower. I've got my first flower. I'm gonna put my crayons up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my glue stick once again, if I can open it. And then I'm gonna glue the flower. I'm gonna stick my flower on there and just rub it on there. And then I'm gonna glue it to the tip of a finger. And I'm just gonna pick this finger right here. And boom! We have the first of many flowers to come. And at the end of it, you should have something that looks like this. And then you can give this to your mom for Mother's Day and she will love it. All right, everyone, I hope that you all enjoyed this video and I will see you all again for another video. Bye-bye.